Hello everybody, welcome to our channel. My name is Lay. I'm a mother of two and we are a family of four on a financial journey of becoming completely debt-free, where we plan on paying off over $29,000 of debt and taking you guys step by step and payment by payment along the way. If you're new to this channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I really hope you enjoy this content and decide to stay. And if you guys are returning, thank you guys so much as we navigate through this journey. So in today's video, we are going to be talking all about, as I prepare for a new month, how I get my family on board, the different routines that I have. If you're new to budgeting, if you're new to paying off your debt, even if you're seasoned in budgeting or paying off debt and you're just looking for a different routine, maybe you feel like you're kind of in a rut and just wanting a refresher, this video is for you. So just like a little bit of background, I am a mom. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And we're a family of four, and I love everything about budgeting. I love the stationery things. I love the cash envelopes. I love the budgeting planners. So I love to have it all. My husband on the other side, he is very simplistic. He is definitely one of those individuals that just need the information very cut and dry. And so that is how I'm going to show this to you. Everything I'm showing is a free printable from the Budget Mom. This is from her free resource library, so all you have to do is sign up for her newsletter, and then you'll actually have access to it. And so, like I mentioned, I use the Papers by Jessica Ann. This is a big old budget notebook, you guys. She is thick. She has all the information, every little thing that I need to know. However, for my husband, that could be really overwhelming. So what I also like to do is I like to print off a monthly budget sheet, kind of similar to how this planner has it. Let me see if I can get a copy of it for you guys. So this planner also does have it. Does it? But it's actually included in the planner. Now, if you're new to budgeting, a budget planner like this can definitely look overwhelming. It can be intimidating. And so like I mentioned, what I like to do is I like to print off a monthly overview sheet. I like to color coordinate it by the paydays, by what we have going on. And I just like to leave it on the fridge. That way it's easy access for us to quickly check what we have going on, what expenses and bills we have coming up. And that way everybody's on the same page rather than pulling out this wonderfully but big budget planner every time. So this is from the Budget Mom, like I mentioned, her free resources. And so these are the steps that I do. So because we budget by paycheck, that means we budget every time we receive an income. So we don't budget from the first of the month until the last of the month, unless it just so happens that our paychecks land on that. That is not the case for the majority of the month. So what I like to do is, in our family, we like our work weeks, or our life weeks in general, Monday through Sunday. So I go ahead and I write it at the top, Monday through Sunday. And as you can tell, March rolls into the first week of April. So the very first week has 5 days of March and 2 days of April. So I always like to just have a little bit of a highlighter right there, and just so I know that the paycheck from the last paycheck of March is going to be taking care of some expenses for the month of April. So the very first thing I like to do is I like to go in and make sure that I write down all of the days that we get paid. That way we know at a glance when we can anticipate income coming in, and making sure that all of our expenses can be tracked and can be paid with those. And if it can't be, then we take a look at what paychecks are around it that we can also set aside funds for that as well. So we got paid on the 29th. And that one's every other week. And payday. Perfect. So now I went ahead and I wrote down all the different paydays and all the incomes that we know we're going to be expecting in the month of April. So I just went ahead and took some highlighters. As you guys can see, my son lost the cap, so I'm going to try to use this one. So the first paycheck, we'll go ahead and make it in green. Let's go ahead and do yellow for the second pay, or the first paycheck in April, excuse me. Green will be for the last paycheck of March. We'll do orange for the second paycheck. Pink for the third paycheck. And then green for the last paycheck. So I know now that I have this set up is that anything between March 29th and April 6th has to be paid with the last paycheck of March. I now know that any bills between the 7th through the 12th will be paid with the first paycheck of April. But we're also going to take a look, and now we're going to go ahead and fill in the expenses that we have going on. So the very first thing I have is the electric. And that is $396. Again, I have a few bills that are paid at the end of the month. So again, having a 3 payday month can be wonderful, but it can also be very intense because you're paying 2 months of bills depending on how your paychecks are set up. So I'm just going through and I'm just writing when things are due. I'm writing when things are due, the amount that they're due. That way we can just go ahead and have it in mind. So we have cell phone. Now, all of our things are on automatic payments and our bills really don't fluctuate that much. So for me, this is a really simple and easy process for you. If you're new to budgeting, this might be something that you have to kind of go through, see what your expenses are, see when they fall. Do they fall on a set date? Do they fall on where it's every other week? Does it fall on the 4th Wednesday of the month? Go ahead, take a look at your expenses, see when they fall, and then that way you're able to go ahead and fill this out, because this is going to be our roadmap of how we determine when things are due. And that's $67. That one's $101. We have CC number 4. So I'm just going to go through this super quick. And then mortgage. Again, you guys, I also do this in my planner, but I just like to have this on the fridge just so then that way it's easy access and we're able to see at any given moment. Car payment, $235. Car insurance, $118. We have electric. Okay, perfect. So now I went through and I have all of our bills and expenses that I know are due throughout the month. I know when I can anticipate them coming out of the account, and I have them written on the calendar. Now the next thing that I do is I go through the calendar with my coordinating highlighter, and I highlight all the bills that need to be taken care of or the expenses that need to be taken care of during that pay period. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quickly. We have yellow. Orange. Pink. And green. Now, for the sake of this video, normally because we are a paycheck budgeter and I know the last paycheck of April will be taking care of some of May's expenses, we would go ahead and start May's budget. However, for the sake of this video, we're just going to keep it with April. So now when you take a look at our April budget and we know the paydays we get paid, we know, okay, the last paycheck of March going into April, we have to pay all of these expenses. So having your budget calendar ready ahead of time lets me know, okay, Lay, your budget's really heavy and really, you have a lot of expenses during this paycheck. Let's go ahead and set money aside during a paycheck where you have a total of $350 worth of bills, opposed to a payday where you have almost $2,000 worth of bills. So being able to look at it and being able to know when your expenses are, when they're going to be deducted from your account is so beneficial. It helps you have that peace of mind. It helps you prepare if you need to pick up extra shifts or extra hours. It helps you know, okay, can I challenge myself and do a no spend so I have a little extra breathing room? Can I challenge myself, and if my grocery budget is if it's $150, can I challenge myself to only spend $125? Having your budget laid out and seeing what you have and when things are due has been such a game changer for us. And again, like I mentioned, my husband, having a big budget binder can be very overwhelming. So for him, having this on the fridge, having an easy reference, knowing, okay, this paycheck, we know when the income is coming in, we know what we have to take care of, and we can just quickly add all of these up and just transfer it into the bill account. Because with our family, we have a bill account and then we have a spending account because we like to have things separate. That way we don't accidentally spend our bill money on variable expenses. So that is what I like to do. And then what I also like to do is that there's a little note section at the bottom. So I like to go ahead and write anything that I know is going to be happening in the month of April. So for us, we have a baby shower that we're going to be attending. We have Easter, and T-ball season starts. So also knowing what I really like about this calendar, I can't do it for the sake of the video because I don't have another highlighter. But what I like to also do is I like to list when things are happening. So I know Easter is happening on the 9th. So I also have to be aware, do I have it on my budget on the 7th to be able to buy those last minute things if they happen? Or am I going to be able to know if there's events and my sinking funds aren't full enough, how am I going to be able to navigate? Do I have things or sinking funds that need to be prepared by, that need to be done by for these events like the baby shower or Easter? Or for example, T-ball season, I got a really great comment that reminded me to make sure that I incorporate snacks and gas for traveling. Now, our situation with T-ball is that it's a micro sport. So if you're unfamiliar, like I mentioned, our daughter is 3. So micro sports is pretty much just where kids are having fun. They're just getting their energy out. They're learning the fundamentals of the sport, but it's not truly the sport. So for us, I have to keep that in mind. Am I going to need to be purchasing snacks for? What weekends or weeks am I responsible to provide that for the team? Am I carpooling team members? So it's always really good to also include that in your monthly. I know some people like to strictly have it for the budget. Some people like to strictly have it for work and house events. I like to have everything. Again, this is on my fridge. This is easy access for us to know when things are due, what is needing to be done, and just at a quick reference. Okay, we know on the 21st paycheck, that's probably when we're going to be stuffing our sinking funds. I did a whole video on what our family is doing with the pay decrease and the sinking funds being readjusted. But if you're somebody who is new to budgeting, gets overwhelmed with budgeting can be intimidated, I would highly, highly recommend you trying out this method. Again, just in that way, it's just an easy visual for you. You know when your paydays are, you know how much you're getting paid, and just continue that step. Like I mentioned, I did this in 10 minutes because I know it's taken some practice. So the first time may take you a little bit longer, but as you get used to this routine, it's going to become like a second nature to you. It's just like riding a bike. The first few times budgeting can be really difficult because you're going to be having that realization of, okay, maybe I have more bills than I do income, or maybe I don't have an income problem, I have a spending problem. So the one thing about budgeting that I've noticed is that realization factor involved in it, having that honest, raw conversation with what your current financial picture is. And if you don't like it, what are you going to do about it? And so I really, really, really enjoyed this. Also gives a great visual on where your bills are. If you have all your bills the first week of the month, call those people up, call your creditors up, call who your bills are, and see if you can rearrange them in the month to give you a little bit of more breathing room. So this is what we do for our monthly budget calendar. Like I mentioned, I do keep it on my fridge, just an easy access place. I know some people like this instead of a budget binder. Some people have it on apps, whatever works for you. I really enjoy paper to pen. I think it helps sink in the idea a little bit more. Again, this is from the Budget Mom free resource library, so it does not cost anything, you guys. I will always be an advocate for free resources, especially along this budgeting journey. So that is gonna be it for this video. If you guys enjoy budgeting, cash stuffing, debt, and savings updates, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. As always, if you guys are on a financial journey as well, please let me know in the comments. I love support you and your channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.